Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So in today's video I want to talk about why chosen vessels, chosen men and women, have to deal with cruel and unusual treatment. And it's kind of complex. There's a lot of layers to it. It can be from your own friends, your own family. It can be the people that you confide in, that you're supposed to feel secure in, and just supposed to be able to be yourself around. But it's a complex topic because the reasons vary, and the ways that they play games, the ways that they are cruel or treat you unusually, they're in a lot of different ranges. They're in a lot of different ways. Can be narcissistic games, like the emotional teeter-totter, love bombing, or just throwing unjust outbursts at you, throwing all their anger. And I'm not gonna say I've been perfect, but indignation of the spirit's a real thing. So when you feel these type of games, and these people, they'll try to gaslight you, even, they'll try to make their reasoning just, and it's just it's just not, a lot of the time. Sometimes there is a just reaction to, let's say, something you did or one of your reactions, right? But it's not always that case. And some of these people will try to hold you down to a mistake, or to a past action or a past behavior of yours, rather than supporting and trying to uplift, or trying to seek usual type of treatment. Instead of that, they just go to cruel games, gaslighting, narcissistic games, the emotional teeter-totter. That's a big one, because they can be super high with you, and then they're super low, and it's just, there's you get tired of going to these people with anything positive, really, even, or negative. You just, because they make it more negative, or they make it less positive, and they just will sprinkle little bits of doubt, and it's a tiresome thing. But it's something that every single chosen vessel, I'm sure, can relate to in some regard, from the people that they're supposed to feel secure around, the people that they're supposed to feel like they can be themselves, good or bad, how they're feeling, and just let loose, to let their guard down, but oftentimes it's just not the case around these people. They make it very difficult to just be yourself, to just have your highs and your lows around them. And so you honestly, in some ways, you have to you feel like you have to put on a mask, and when you're trying to share something with some of these people, they'll gaslight you, or they'll try to make you out to be a conspiracy theorist, and it's really just not just. It's really just not just. It's really unjust. It's just arrogance a lot of the time, and ignorance. And even when you share stuff with them, you could share an article, or you could share a link to something, and maybe you're just open to a discussion about a certain topic, and they just shut it down. They're just stonewall, not interested. And they try to make you feel bad for having ever raised the question or the point. And it's very tiring. It's very convoluted, And no matter how much you love these people, or you want to share with them the good and the bad stuff, they'll a lot of the time literally just Grayrock you. And it's It's one thing to gray rock over like just reasons, but it's another to love bomb and then retract. You know, love bomb and then retract again. Like that's just very big constant. It's never consistent. There's never like any level playing field. It's not equal give and take. It's either everything or it's nothing at all, and then you're like, you're delusional or you're a conspiracy theorist, or they just gaslight you and say, "Oh, I never said that," or "It wasn't about that." But you understand these people, like you get why they are the way they are, and on a deeper level that's not surface. Yet they still decide to put on a mask. They still pretend to be holier than thou. Like, you own your mistakes. You own everything that's bad as part of yourself, as part of who you were, what you've grown through, you've had to go through to become something better from. And the reason you're able to gray rock these people with confidence and not take on the baggage that they try to throw on you and weigh you down with, the reason why you're able to do that with confidence is because you walk with the highest of the highs. You walk with God. You don't walk with everything worldly. You're not out drinking every week and destroying your vessel. You're more times than not smoking a lot of the time. Like, I don't smoke. It's just not for me, because then I'm too lazy, and I wouldn't like have the will to create. I wouldn't have the will to put myself out here and stuff. And then I also just find I'm better able to divest my interests, but I'm not big on drinking. So like, I find a lot of my relaxing or like, chilling out to be from just like enjoying a couple video games or just hanging out, not really thinking about too much, meditating or stuff like that. And because you don't take these people's baggage on as your own to carry, you're able to continue to just leave it with them. You're able to gray rock them with confidence. You don't feel burdened by or like guilty. You simply are being yourself, and you're doing what's best for you and your vessel, what's best for your growth, to propel your growth forward. And that's something that these people want for themselves. They want to, in many regards, they want to be like you, but they don't want to go to the depths of which you have met yourself to get to this point. And so that's why they're on this emotional teeter-totter where they're super high or super low with you, because they don't understand it. They don't walk with the Most High, so they don't intuitively get it. They just don't. It's something that is frustrating even. It's frustrating because you want these people to see how it can be for themselves. You want them to have like a higher esteem, but instead they choose to get their esteem from either knocking people down or knocking you down, or like just throwing their anger all at one person that's like completely doing nothing wrong, and they just pick a target and he looks happy or she looks sad, and then boom, there it is. It's really not much else you can do than gray rock these people, and you pray for them, but you eventually realize it's just not a good use of time. It's not a good use of effort or energy to continue to go back to these people and to share with them your good, your bad stuff, because ultimately, unless there's something in it for themselves where they can wiggle in, they usually are not very uplifting. They're not very supportive. They'd rather you fall back into old ways or old ways of thinking to justify themselves and how they behave and how they choose to indulge in things. And I'm around a lot of that. Like, I'm around people that, like, everyone at my house smokes. I don't smoke. The only one now that doesn't smoke. And like, it's not a good habit. We learn all this all our lives. Like, it might be okay in doses, it might be okay in quantities, but every single day, you miss a lot of what is kind of needed. And like, I don't do it anymore, but there was a time where I was smoking every single day for like over a year, over 2 years. But eventually, that once you quit, once it subsides and the cravings for it diminish, you just realize like it's really just keeping these people in this constant loop of highs and lows and overreactions, and then just underreactions, like lack of care. And it's just not good for your growth. You eventually realize that, and these people's behaviors, like, they're contradictory of each other. So you get off the emotional teeter-totter and you're able to see that this cruel, this sometimes unusual punishment, or not punishment, treatment rather, is just not conductive to success. It's not conductive to propelling you forward. And it's not a bad thing to want success for yourself. That's, if anything else, like, I don't know where society's gone wrong in saying, like, you have to not want success, you have to be miserable, yada yada. Maybe it's the churches, I don't know. But I just don't believe that. I feel like striving to be successful at something, striving to do well at something, is a good and a positive thing. Striving to be healthy, that's a positive and good thing, So that's why chosen vessels sometimes receive cruel and unusual treatment. It's not because of anything you're doing inherently. It's because of a lot of the projections that these people want to throw somewhere else other than reflecting and owning it themselves, And when you get to a certain point and you have reflected and you have, understood the inner workings of your bad habits and, what's kept you stagnant, that stagnancy frequency, you realize how to get out of it. And it's just like abiding in the Most High. It's really not that complicated, but everyone wants to make it complicated. It just takes time. It takes faith. It takes showing up every day and then repeating it, So keep with it if you're doing it. And much love for you guys. God bless ya. And I think that will conclude this message. But if you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a like, let me know your thoughts. And that's all for now. So take care, everybody. Have a good one.